Hi everybody, Tamara here. I was guided after listening to a blog talk radio show to do a video on being an empath, excuse me. And before I could jump on it, my guides had directed me to read through the 12 immutable laws of the universe. And the one that caught my eye was the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. And it states that all persons have within them the power to change the conditions of their lives. Higher vibrations consume and transform lower ones. Thus, each of us can change the energies in our lives by understanding the universal laws and applying the principles in such a way as to effect change. As an empath, what does that mean to me? That means that energy is constantly coming at me, toward me, surrounding me, however you want to phrase it. I can either transmute it or I can absorb it into my body and allow it to affect me physically. I do not choose to let it affect me physically. I had in the past because I hadn't known what it was, why I was feeling that way. And once I did and was alerted to what an empath was and what an empath's gift is here on the planet, I actually asked if I could shut the gift off. I didn't want to feel the way I was feeling. I've had energetic knives in my back and in my side, and it goes on and on and on and on of what I experienced and how I felt. And if we're not aware of our own personal energy field, these things can be very taxing on the body, and if not taken care of, can wreak some havoc. So during the journey I've learned, it began about a year and a half ago, and I'm working on perfecting, I'll rephrase that. I'm working on learning how to control what comes in, what I allow into my personal energy field. There was one time I had to go to an outing and was not made aware that there will be at least 1,000 people there. Well, when I arrived, I was almost taken to my knees. I don't know how I was standing up. I get this weakness in my ankles. And this is only for large crowds. And that was before I knew that I could control it. I did excuse myself and went to the restroom. I consulted with my inner light child. Sometimes that enormous amount of energy, and it could be any type of energy, anxiety, stress, that's usually what I do feel. All of the lower vibrational emotions of the planet seem to flock towards me for transmutation. You could see why I wanted to asked if I could turn that gift off. It was becoming taxing on the body, and I didn't want to play with that kind of energy anymore. I wanted to play with the good stuff. So I learned how to control it and what I allow in. Airports used to be tough for me. I would feel everyone's anxiety while they were waiting in line to go through security. And again, that same feeling of wobbliness and being cut off at the ankles. But what I also learned was I wasn't allowing the flow. I wasn't allowing those emotions that people were choosing to not share and express. I was not allowing them to flow. So I was cutting them, literally cutting it off before it could enter. Um, so I taught myself some, just to breathe deep, the conscious breathing, because I would start to get the heart palpitations, my heart would start racing, and yeah, sometimes felt like passing out, or I was going to. Um, but I learned to focus on my breathing. I brought my attention back to heart center, where the energy could be transmuted, and I allowed the flow. If the flow was coming in too fast, I would instruct my guides to slow it down. I'm happy, and now um, that I learn how to control it, I'm happy to be on planet Earth transmuting it for everyone here who chooses to not clear themselves. And that all depends on our situation. I have also learned that family members are our first and foremost to absorb from. Well, they project, because they know there's an empath in the family, and they can just project it out and it will be absorbed and transmuted. But sometimes that's not the fact. And that's only from my own personal experience. When there are things going on in our home that need transmuted, sometimes it's not my job to transmute it. It's my job to cut it off before it comes in, because it is a lesson, so to speak, to allow that person to deal with their own emotions and learn how to express them, and keeping their personal energy field clear. As you do that, it becomes a lot easier. You know what your personal energy field feels like, and you know when something has entered your personal energy field. Those who choose to not keep their personal energy clear usually have a lot of drama in their life, and they project those feelings that it brings up onto others, which creates a lot of stress. And since the energy is always in motion, it's never going to stop anywhere until it's transmuted. That's just my opinion. That's how I see it working in my home with my family members. It's easy to practice with the family members first. And I know there are some times where I've said, okay, this is not mine, guides, please clear it now, and it doesn't go away. So to me, that's my cue that I have a little bit of feeling to do, and it may be for myself. It may be just so that the energy coming from that person, they really don't know how to handle it, and it's my job to take it on and transmute it, and I always send it back to them as love. But we're all getting better at it. I've taught myself to, I clear my energy before I go to sleep at night. My guides have a very strict procedure to follow in clearing. I ask every day if there are new ways to clear. If you know the emotion that's in your energy field and it belongs to someone else, ask to clear that emotion, and ask to have the chakra cleared associated with that emotion. Let's say there's some fear or there's some grief going on in your family from a loss. That's my cue. That always hits you right in the heart. So my cue is to say, I'll say, okay, guides, clear so-and-so's energy um, regarding their feelings of grief and sadness from my personal energy field and also from the heart chakra. Do that every night before I go to bed. I try to identify each emotion that I'm feeling that may have wandered on in. Um, I clear my energy in the car, after a grocery store. It just becomes habit now. Just like picking up your cell phone before you leave the house. It's become habit. Um, and the best thing we can do as empaths is to teach others how to keep their personal energy field clear. I'm a work in progress on that. I've been working on it for about a year. I've got it down to what works for me. There are a lot of ways. It has been steps through movies I have seen. I saw Iron Man, and there were actually times where I would stand there in the letter T and say, okay, guys, suit me up. And it just gave me a great feeling of protection, and then I was ready to go out into the world. It did not dim my light. It actually kind of made it a little brighter because I wasn't worried about what was I going to absorb. If we put our focus on what we're going to absorb, we're going to get more of it. So I do not use the white light. My belief and the way that it works for me is if I surround myself in white light, I get bombarded twice as fast because the denser energies, we always say go towards the light. Well, they do. Well, the denser energies do. And sometimes you can get a bit bombarded physically. So I don't use surrounding myself in white light. I do use the blue flame of Archangel Michael. My house is surrounded with it also, so anything that comes in is transmuted before it enters the house. Sometimes I even do mirrors, but I turn the mirrors facing outward, so they're reflecting back to the other person. I don't have to use that one anymore. But that was a fun one. There are tons of ways to protect yourself as an empath. And to heal the body afterwards, because sometimes it can be very draining. Drink a lot of water because the cells in your body absorb everything also. Drinking water will keep the fluid and energy forward flowing motion. And come out into nature. I love just coming out and sitting on the patio. I really sit and observe nature. How nature, just the birds flying, the singing, I just love being out in nature. It's so very healing. You can hear the birds singing. And that just brings such joy to my heart. It's so healing for the heart. And the first steps I took in keeping my energy field, not my energy field clear, sort of a protection as an empath. I always consult with my inner light child first. She can get a little bit overwhelmed and scared and shut down because of all the energy that is coming at her. I've established a great relationship, trusting relationship with her by telling her that I will be the director of the energetic traffic. So she doesn't have to do that anymore. It's my job. I see it coming, and I'm happy to do it. So as there's great energy of fear and anxiety and stress on the planet today. And if we don't try and discern what is our energy and what is not, it only gets passed on. Hence the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Somewhere, sometime, it has to be transmuted. It will keep traveling until it does. And this is the same way. This was just thrown into my mind, that this also relates to energetic patterns that are um, passed on from generation to generation to generation, family-wise. Those can be transmuted. I was given the gift of being on the planet at this time to transmute some of those generational family energetic patterns that no longer work for me. And I made a conscious decision and choice to transmute them. I'm very thankful for that. And I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to share. I may be getting back into empathic energetic coaching. The thought had popped into my head, and then it ended up that I had a client call last night, so that may be coming up in the future. Still haven't really decided, and felt I haven't gone to my heart center fully to discern whether that's a path I want to take or not, because that can be also very taxing energetically on the body. I will post the link to a fabulous blog talk radio show, the Unified Consciousness Grid by Angel Akasha Whisperer, my coach. I love you, honey. If you're an empath, you don't want to miss it. Angel shares more ways to transmute the empathic energy through the ethereal, and since I've gone that way of transmuting and keeping my personal energy field clear, it's brought on great energy personally. It has raised my vibration, and as my vibration rises, so does that of those around me. I find them stepping up and allowing their lights to shine. And happy to help if there's any guidance needed with them. It's been a joy to watch them grow energetically. I no longer have to actually have a shield up in my own home, which I did, and until the others became aware, it's what I needed to do. I'm so, no bragging going on here, I'm so good that when the phone rings, I know if somebody wants to dump on me or if it's just a phone call to say hi. I have the choice whether or not to introduce that energy into my energy field. And if I feel that it is not, if it's going to be a dumping, I do not answer the phone. It's as simple as that. We've been programmed to believe that if the phone rings, we have to answer it. Well, we don't. We don't. Especially if you're consciously trying to keep your energy field, personal energy field clear. Trying to think if I had left out any tips on clearing. My biggest one is that works for me is in the evening, before I lay my head down and before I go to sleep, I ask my guys I clear my personal energy field, my physical body. I ask them also to clear my physical body of any energetic, of any energy that does not belong to me. I have them clear my chakras and feelings and emotions. Well, the emotions, if any have crept in of others that does not belong to me, I ask them to clear them from my physical chakras. I ask them to clear my ethereal body. I ask them to clear my light body. I have this whole regimen that I do, and it's working fabulous for me. If any of you have any tips on what's working for you, please share them with me. Share them with the world so that we can get these energies transmuted and enjoy heaven on earth. Okay, we're up to almost about 20 minutes. So I'm going to bid you adieu. Peace and love. And keep those personal energy fields clear. Bye.